All right, guys. So here's our second video of the renewable resources. So hydroelectric's one y'all probably have heard of and know. This is the form of hydropower to produce energy. So hydro means water. We know that. It just means water power, right? Hydropower is energy released by water falling from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. So if I draw my horrible little diagram, so we have a lot of water up here, a little bit of water down here. Water falls from high, always goes from high to low. All right, what we do as humans is we set up some kind of barricade and we collect the energy from it going from an area high concentration to an area low concentration. So the energy is harnessed from water, depends on the amount of water, like we said. So if I had my little picture back there, if the more water we have up here and the less we have down here, the more we can create. This is why we build the dams as high as possible. So like we have, like I said, high concentration, low concentration. So here's our dam right here. All right. So what happens is water flows through. Sorry for my bad drawing. Spins this turbine. This turbine spins here and we create electricity. That electricity is divvied up and sent to all the different locations. So, you know, this is, if you're up in Beaufort, some of your electricity comes from the Beaufort Dam. I don't think any of us live up there, but that's just an example. So once again, high to low, spins the turbine spins the generator in here generates the electricity, and it gets sent off to our homes, businesses, whatever the case may be. Some countries, Canada specifically, uses quite a lot of hydroelectric. I remember watching a show and it was made in Canada and they were talking about a hydro bill. The hydro bill is actually, you think about, oh, well, that's, you know, your water usage. In some places they use so much of it, it actually refers to their power or utility bills. So, you know, they have a lot of lakes and rivers and tributaries, so they use the hydroelectric quite a lot. Now, the problem, like I said, none of these are without their faults. The problem is we create this dam. Oops. We create this dam here. Now what that does is all this water gets kind of stockpiled and kept behind it. All right. And what it'll do is the river probably used to be about this wide, but now it's obviously looks like this. So it has a large impact on the ecosystem wherever we build the dam. On the other side of the dam, on the high side, it really can have a devastating effect on the area. Quick history lesson, if y'all know anything about Lake Lanier. Lake Lanier was actually a lot of farmlands and things like that. They came in, they bought the farmland. The government bought the farmland at not a very good price from the farmers. They installed Beaufort Dam and then backed up, and that created Lake Lanier. That's how Lake Lanier was actually formed. Was from, I think it was the Tennessee Valley Act. They put a dam there. They backed it up. They bought all that farmland because essentially they flooded that entire area. It was a big tributary, and so they decided to flood it and create hydroelectric energy. Hydroelectricity powers about 20% of the world's electricity now. We use it quite a lot. The advantage of this power is that it's capable of handling seasonal peaks, meaning when it's summer and everybody wants their house to be cool, especially here in the South, we can do that. And disadvantages is if there comes a drought, then you end up with, you know, the tributary, the backup running low and potentially not being able to produce as much energy. Once again, none of these, all 5 of these have their cost and their benefits. All right, last but not least, and this is pretty straightforward, biomass. Biomass is any non-fossil fuel. So not oil, not gas, none of those kind of things. A lot of plants, trees, animals are used for biomass, wood, rubbish, garbage, alcohol fuels, aka ethanol. They use ethanol a lot nowadays, and it's used a lot in farm equipment. People have been using ethanol in their tractors and stuff like that for years. You can now see it kind of used for certain cars. If it says E85, that means they are 15% corn alcohol is what they made it out of. Crops, landfill gas. So really what biomass is just the burning of these products. So whatever it happens to be, like trees, things like that. Like we used to heat a lot of homes with biomass and things like that. Now we usually use electricity. I visited a friend, an exchange student. They stayed with me, and then we stayed with them for a little while over in Germany, the south portion of Germany, and their home was actually heated by with biomass. It was just wood. They had a central fireplace, and the fireplace actually had like tubes that came off of it and went by each room, and they were actually heated by just wood that they burned in their fireplace. So this one has been around for by far the longest, but it is probably used the least nowadays. We convert everything to electricity, and that way then we send it to the homes. But this is still one that we can use. Burning manure, which is just cow droppings. Another one is peat. They use this a lot in Ireland. Peat is a slow burning, kind of like topsoil that takes a long time to burn, and it produces a lot of heat. So they still use that in their homes. All right, guys, that's it. The second one was a lot shorter. Take the notes. If you need to pause the video, if I went too fast, that's fine. You can pause me and go back and refresh and make sure you get all these notes, because they'll help you when you go to do your project.